Two things that are great about Rice Krispies. One, you put your milk in there and it sounds like gunshots are going off in the neighborhood. So when you're growing up in your hood and you want to distract yourself from all the crazy shit that's going on outside, you just pour yourself a bowl of Rice Krispies. You'll hear the snap, crackle, pop in the bowl, and you can pretend all the gunshots outside are from the bowl. These are the 1990s cereals, as far as I can remember. Shouldn't be anything new on there. These are the old classics. And we're going to be putting them on the list according to how I see fit. Now, I should tell you all, I was a cereal fiend when I was a kid, okay? Of course I was hyper. I ate cereal twice a day, probably. Many of these varieties. First off here, we've got, what is this, Honey Nut Cheerios? No, this is wait, is this Apple Cinnamon Cheerios? Where's Applejack? So that's over here. Honestly, I cannot remember the difference between Applejack and Cheerios apple flavor, but I know I've had Applejacks. And back in the day, like, we wouldn't get them that much, but when we did, they had such a unique taste, and I really enjoyed it. It was like a very sugary, cinnamony taste. It might have been because I had it so rarely. You know when, like, you only have foods once in a while? It's like you get super excited about it, and then after you eat it too much, you just get bored of it. So I don't know if it's exactly the best, but I'm gonna say it's pretty good. Cookie Crisp. The idea of having cookie cereal. That is like, you pour a box, and out from the box comes many little cookies into your bowl, and you could eat this for breakfast, and your parents are okay with it. This was amazing. Unfortunately, the reality of it is that when you have Cookie Crisp in your bowl with milk, it doesn't turn out like that. I wish it tasted better. It's still good. Is it pretty good? I don't think so. I think it's but it's better than Apple Cheerios. Next, we got Special K. Okay, so this is K, Special K, because it's Kellogg's, right? What's so special about it? That's what I have to ask. When I think about it, I'm not really sure if I've had Special K before. Can anybody weigh in on this one? One of the worst cereals, worse than Corn Flakes. They have weird flavor to them. So yeah, for me, I don't think I've eaten this one, so I'm gonna have to put this in, not 90s or I don't know. Kix. This is one, do they still have Kix? Is this still a cereal? I think this is the brand where the ad was kid tested, mom approved, am I right? But basically it was like, oh, this is the cereal that it's a little bit healthy, but also tastes pretty good. But you know what? If I'm having cereal, I don't want to eat something that's healthy. I want to eat something that's gonna rot my teeth and make me bounce off the walls. And for that reason, I'm gonna put Kix on Garbo. Kid tested, mother approved. Yeah, that's right. But you didn't wait to get the kid's reaction to Kix, okay? The kid's the one testing it. Why don't we get his opinion on it? This is the commercial. We should have asked the kid, hey, what do you think of Kix? Doesn't matter. The mom approves of it. Shut up, kid. You're just a kid. It's Garbo. Isn't it Garbo? It must be, right? Because it's a healthy cereal. You're making me question myself. All right, we have a riot in the chat. Do we bump Kix up to But I'm going to put it at the bottom of All right, we got Corn Flakes, not to be confused with Porn Flakes. Porn Flakes would be very deadly to put in your mouth. You might contract some kind of disease. Corn Flakes has got to be the most generic cereal, right? I think Corn Flakes is the NPC cereal, isn't it? It's literally designed to make kids stop wait, what? Make kids stop wanking? Are we talking about the same thing here? Corn Flakes is either an or a Garbo. But Dr. John Harvey, Kellogg, the inventor of Corn Flakes, did not care about profits. For him, cereal was not just a health food because it would improve Americans' digestion. He believed a diet centered on bland food. Oh yeah, I do remember this. Like cereal would lead Americans away from sin. I remember this. One specific sin, masturbation. Moose, thank you for reminding me of that. I did watch a video about that. I think it was last year. Has it worked? They should follow up on that study. I think based on what Moose said, that you literally need to put sugar on it to make it tasty. I think we're putting it there. Garbo. Oh, now we got something interesting. We got Count Chocula. Let me pull up a bigger picture of Count Chocula. Hopefully I don't get any Count Chocula Rule 34 and then get banned off Twitch. Safe search is on. I feel confident about this. Oh God, do I? Fingers crossed. This is kind of the modern one, but let's assume that it kind of looks the same. Honestly, I don't know. I'm gonna put it I don't know because I don't think I've had it, but if I had to guess, it would probably be pretty good. If anybody here has had Count Chocula, maybe you can tell me. We got Captain Crunch, or Cap'n Crunch, as in like popping caps in their ass because they're so good you'd kill somebody just to steal the cereal box from out of their hands. Trash, toss it out? Dude, okay, is this an L take here? You hate Captain Crunch is literally, I don't know how to tell you guys this. I hope you guys don't get mad at me. Captain Crunch is literally my favorite cereal. Does that make me a weirdo? I mean, being a furry in training didn't make me a weirdo. This can't make me a weirdo, right? Guys, remember, this is a 1990s tier list. I don't know if Captain Crunch is now, okay? But back in the day, I could down a box of this in 24 hours. Whenever we had Captain Crunch, I would never just have one bowl. I would always have two. You'd always have to get a refill. That's how you know it was good. Yes, it occasionally cut my gums and roof of my mouth because it was it had fiberglass or something in there. But it was worth it. It was so good. It destroys the roof of my mouth to the point where I don't taste it anymore, only pain. All right, well, this is my list. I don't know what to tell you guys. I can't not put Captain Crunch in the best tier. There's one other cereal on here that I would put in the best, so maybe you can get me to move Captain Crunch below that one. Rice Chex. This can't possibly be good. Now, the nice thing about this is it's gluten-free, right? Because it's rice. I think I have had this before. It's not frosted or anything. What's nice about this one is that the milk kind of gets in there and makes the texture nice. I don't think it's as bad as Corn Flakes, but I'm gonna put it there. Box of cereal is just almond milk in a bowl. Yeah, so what I do is I put the almond milk in like a very flat kind of round bowl, and then I put it on the floor, and then I get on all fours and bend my head down to the floor and just go. And then Arcadia will usually come out in the kitchen and see me doing that and say, "Oh my god, I'm leaving you." And then I have to make a case for why she shouldn't do that. Anyway, moving on. Is this peanut butter Captain Crunch? I like peanut butter. I actually don't like peanut butter that much anymore. When I was a kid, I remember I ate peanut butter so much in kindergarten that I became like allergic to it and I had to stop eating it. I'm not allergic to it anymore. Maybe it wasn't even the peanut butter, but I don't know. For me, almond butter is just better. And that wasn't really a thing back in the 90s. 90s was all about the peanut butter, the Jif life, right? That's it, JIF. For peanut butter Captain Crunch, you take Captain Crunch that's already perfect and you add in peanut butter. It's just gonna make you bigger. I mean, why would you want that? If I'm eating cereal all day, I don't want it to be worse for me. I'm gonna put this at Garbo. I'd still eat it more than these. I'll put it here. I would still eat it over Rice Chex and Corn Flakes, but why would you taint Captain Crunch like that? Don't think of the word taint in a bad way, please. All right, next cereal. We've got Honey Bunches of Oats. It's got honey. Honey's always good. I don't know if honey is vegan. I don't think it is, but I always hear vegans talk about honey like it's not. Honey Bunches is goats. That sounds right. I think this is Arcadia's favorite cereal. I think it is pretty good. Is it the best? I think it is pretty good. Is it better than Apple Jacks? Probably, because it has those granola clusters, right? That's what makes it. All right, Rice Krispies. Snap, Crackle, Pop. That's the best thing about Rice Krispies. All right, two things that are great about Rice Krispies. One, you put your milk in there, and it sounds like gunshots are going off in the neighborhood. So when you're growing up in your hood and you want to distract yourself from all the crazy that's going on outside, you just pour yourself a bowl of Rice Krispies. You'll hear the snap, crackle, pop in the bowl, and you can pretend all the gunshots outside are from the bowl. Not only that, the other thing that's great about them is you mix them with marshmallows and you get this amazing dessert called the Rice Krispie Treat, which for some reason these kids would bring into school for their birthdays and give you. You love Rice Krispies. They need to be at the top of pretty good or the bottom of the best. The thing is, like, do we account for the fact that you can make Rice Krispies out of them? I think that's cheating. Are they better than these two? I don't know. This is a tough... I would agree. They're pretty good. I agree. It is good, and I'm only doing this considering that it could possibly become a Rice Krispie treat. And the fact that they make sound effects. That's really cool. That's almost as cool as like Count Chocula turning your milk brown. Fun fact, if you put Count Chocula into chocolate milk, it turns the milk white. All right, we got Cinnamon Toast Crunch on deck. One of the greatest cereals of all time. They don't say this on the box, but it's not just Cinnamon Toast Crunch. It's Cinnamon Sugar Toast Crunch, okay? They coat these things with so much sugar that you will be feeling like you just did a whole kilogram of after eating a bowl of this. Cinnamon Toast Crunch, this is the best for me. This is the one that could possibly take Captain Crunch over, but if I'm being honest with myself, it's not as good. It's very close though. It could possibly be up there, but it is the best of the best. This is another one of those cereals where you can't just have one bowl. I remember when I would have Cinnamon Toast Crunch, I would always fill the bowl to the point where the cereal would start to fall off the sides. And I was like, all right, this is full now. I could eat this. This is a serving size. Unlike this piece of shit, what is Frosted Mini Wheats? This isn't as bad as Rice Chex because at least one side is covered in sugar, right? Underneath, it's like, you know, when they add MSG to foods, you guys know about MSG? It's like the stuff they put in like Asian cooking, like Chinese restaurant food, and they put MSG in it and it makes anything taste good. It's like trying to compete with a Lambo at a car contest and you got a Honda Civic, but you souped it up. And for that reason, it's gonna be Garbo. I think it's gotta be better than Rice Chex though, right? So Cheerios. Okay, let me tell you something about Cheerios. For some reason, all the doctors love Cheerios. Oh my God, you eat Cheerios, your cholesterol's gonna go down. It's gonna give you wings. You're gonna get a 8-inch How does Cheerios decrease your cholesterol? I've thought about this. It must be because, like, if you're eating Cheerios, you're having it for breakfast, right? And that means you're probably not eating eggs and bacon. So does it really lower your cholesterol, or is it just because you're not eating eggs and bacon? And if that's the case, then all of these cereals lower your cholesterol. It's a bunch of BS. I think they lied to me. I think they lied to the American people. I think it's not healthy, and I'm saying it's garbo, but it doesn't have sugar, so I'll put it below Wheat Thins. I did like Cheerios when I was a kid, though. It was a very, like, wholesome food, but it always left me wanting Captain Crunch or Cinnamon Toast Crunch, you know? All right, moving right along. We've got Reese's Puffs. Let's literally take a candy, turn it into a cereal. How could it go wrong? Let me tell you something. It didn't go wrong. Reese's Puffs is really good. Another one of those cereals that turns the milk to chocolate. It's not as good as having a Reese's Peanut Butter Cup, so there is always that little factor of disappointment when you eat those. I would say they're better than pretty good, but they're not the best of the best. But I would say they are the best. I would eat them over any of these three, for sure. What is this? Rice Krispie Treats? I can't see this. Can you guys see this? Enhance. Zoom and enhance. Rice Krispie Treat cereal? This is a thing? Has anybody had these? I haven't had these. I have to put them on the I don't know rank. But it seems like it would taste good. I mean, it just must be Rice Krispies with marshmallow, right? I'm gonna put this on I don't know, but it's probably better than these two. Cocoa Krispies. Another great cereal. Now you get the milk turning chocolate and you get the sound effects. It's not as good as the original, but it should be up there with it. How could it be bad, right? Okay, Fruit Loops, the one with the damn toucan on it. This has been a source of conspiracy because some people think that when they were kids, it used to be called F-R-U-I-T loops, not F-R-O-O-T loops. Kind of like the Berenstain Bears thing. Honestly, I can't remember. It could have been either way. I do remember the commercials. You'd follow your nose, which I don't know how far away from Fruit Loops does it take to smell it. I would imagine you couldn't smell Fruit Loops unless you were like 3 inches close to it, right? I mean, granted, this bird has a pretty big schnoz. You could probably smell things from miles away. For Fruit Loops, it's basically like a better Cheerios, right? Way more sugary. You got different colors. I'm gonna put this on pretty good. I would put it here, but out of respect for Moose, I'm gonna put it right in the middle. I'd say it's better than that. Is it better than Applejack? That might not be true. I'm actually gonna put it down here. I think these two are better. All right, Honey Nut Cheerios. So let's take Cheerios and actually give it some sugar. A genius idea. Do they actually use real honey? I doubt it, but you know, maybe they use like a little tiny bit of honey and then cover the rest in sugar and claim it's Honey Nut Cheerios just because there's a little speck of honey in there. So for Honey Nut Cheerios, that's gotta be above Cheerios. I'd probably put it below this one. Actually, no, probably like here. Nah, it's better than Cookie Crisp. It's definitely an eh, though. All right, Raisin Bran. Raisins are like a love it or hate it type of fruit, dried fruit. I personally like raisins. The worst thing about eating Raisin Bran is when, you know, they claim to put 2 scoops of raisins in there, whatever that means, but then you'll pour yourself a bowl and you'll try to get every bite with raisins, and then by the time you're halfway done with it, the rest of your shit has no raisins in it. So what are you gonna do with that? Maybe like the trick for Raisin Bran is to buy some raisins and then pour them in, like to double up. For this, it's not garbo, but it's definitely at the bottom of eh. All right, Golden Crisp. What is Golden Crisp? I want to see a commercial for this.
You'll never get my Golden Crisp cereal in the wild.
It's the chick from Looney Tunes.
Everything okay at the corral?
Sugar Bear!
Gotta have it.
Sugar Bear?
I'll fix your wagon.
Got you covered.
Oh god, this guy has some nightmare fuel.
Crisp is mine.
You can't escape me, you old bitch. Get over here.
Comes between my tummy and the honey sweet crunch of Golden Crisp. Looks like breakfast a la carte.
Don't bears eat people?
Breakfast.
Partner.
Alright, so I've never had Golden Crisp before. Let's see. Oh god, it's loud, I'm sorry. Didn't mean to do that to you guys. Well, hopefully that wasn't too loud. Are you guys okay? I'm sorry. How can I make this up to you? Here, I'll tell you what. To make this up to you, I'll let you place the next one, Fruity Pebbles. But Golden Crisp is going in, I don't know. Fruity Pebbles. Hey guys, could you still hear me out there? Hello, testing. I think Fruity Pebbles are kind of lacking in some department. I'm not even gonna weigh in on it though. Let's put it, I'd say Fruit Loops are probably better, just because I have bad memories of the damn Flintstones movie with John Goodman and how bad it was. Cocoa Puffs. I didn't think we'd see another one in this tier. I didn't think we'd see it. Is it as good as Reese's Puffs? No, it doesn't have peanut butter, which is weird because I did the whole thing with Captain Crunch, but the chocolate is so good in Cocoa Puffs. It is so good. And I tell you what, you have one bowl of these, you will go cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. You will do outrageous things to get your hand on a box of these. All right, Frosted Flakes. Okay, you want to hear about Frosted? If I hear flakes in a cereal, I immediately think of dandruff. That's not appetizing, okay? I don't want to hear about, and dandruff is white. Frosting is white. Frosted Flakes. You guys want some Frosted Flakes? funny thing about Frosted Flakes is a bit of a controversy here, okay? And that controversy involves the mascot, none other than Tony the Tiger. You guys, you're all in the loop on this kind of stuff. Do we have any guesses as to why Frosted Flakes is controversial and why they stopped using Tony the Tiger as much in their commercials? And take a wild guess. Didn't they just have a live stream with Tony the Tiger in it? Really? I heard they weren't using him as much. Maybe I'm out of the loop. Maybe they brought him back. I heard they stopped using him because of all the fan art that the furry community was doing of him. And they were putting him in very uncomfortable circumstances. Because I guess it's like, he's kind of like a gay furry icon because he's both muscular and a giant tiger and an athlete and a Giga Chad. Bad Fox, why do you do Tony? I didn't do that! Why are you pointing the finger at me? I'm not even a furry. Blame the people that, you know, drew this stuff, okay? Or took their, not only, maybe if you think it, that's one thing. Keep it in your brain, man. Don't put it on a pen and don't draw it. And okay, even if you put it on a pen and draw it, paper and draw it, don't upload it to the internet. Come on. But the cereal, let's focus on the cereal. It's eh. Can we agree it's eh? All right, what is this one? This is the Captain Crunch with berries. I hated this one because the berries always, when I would eat Captain Crunch, I would want just the Captain Crunch cereal. Anything that got in the way of that texture of cutting my mouth, it just took it away from me. And by the way, do you ever think maybe Captain Crunch cuts the roof of your mouth and the sides of your mouth like chewing tobacco? You know, chewing tobacco has like, they used to put glass in it. I don't know if they still do. So it would cut your mouth while you chewed on it. And then the nicotine would go into your blood easier. Maybe they do the same thing with Captain Crunch so you get the sugar faster. Anyway, you're tainting Captain Crunch. I'm putting this with the other one. Peanut butter one's probably better though. We got another Raisin Bran. I don't know what the difference is with that one and this one. This one had a DVD though. This one came with a DVD, so I guess this one is just worse than that one. I'm obsessed with corn pops, so I can't judge you for liking cutting their mouth part. Dude, I'm about to go to the store and buy some cereal after this shit. All right, honeycombs. I have had this. It's very sweet. I think this is everything that Honey Nut Cheerios wanted to be but couldn't, and for that reason, it's gonna be pretty good. All right, speaking of corn, let's do Pops next. I was gonna say this is a cereal that my pops would want to eat because it's too old, but I'm remembering something. This is one of those cereals I would only get in the variety pack. I remember this one and Honey Smacks. These are both cereals that would only come in this like variety pack. Like my parents wouldn't buy it unless they bought the variety pack. And they both came in like this super heavy duty foil. I assume the only reason for that was because it was so caked with honey and goo in there that they had to reinforce it. Pops are underrated. They're not the best, but I'm gonna put them above Cocoa Krispies. They're pretty damn good. And it's just because, think of like a cheese puff, but instead of cheese, it's like sugar and honey on the surface. Honey Smacks is like a very unknown cereal. I remember like they would have commercials with this frog and he'd had a very deep voice. I've had it, but I don't remember if they're good. I think they're okay. And that means they're eh. That means they're probably better than Frosted Flake. Okay, Trix. This is the one that has like all the fruit shapes. Trix are for kids. I'm an adult now. I can't even eat these. Are they better than Fruit Loops? Probably. Are they better than Apple Jacks? Probably not. But you gotta love the rabbit. The commercials make Trix so good. And you also have like the yogurts and stuff. Cocoa Pebbles, Flintstones on the cover. It's giving me PTSD. It's chocolate though, so I'll put it above Fruity. But not, yes, see, we got Cocoa Krispies way up ahead here. And finally, all right, Lucky Charms. We've come so far. Let me tell you something about Lucky Charms, okay? Lucky Charms is the cereal that destroyed my family. You know, my parents would buy Lucky Charms, and, you know, we all know one thing about Lucky Charms. What's the best part about it? Eating the marshmallows, of course. So is it really such a horrible thing that when I would open the Lucky Charms box and dig my hand in there and sift through all the crap to get to the marshmallows, just to eat that and leave everything else behind for my sister? Was that really so horrible? Apparently. I wonder if she remembers that. Do you think you are a bad person for doing something like that to your sister? I'm sure she's done worse to me. I mean, there was one time that she stole my car keys and drove down the street and she didn't even have a license. But maybe that was just payback for what I did with the Lucky Charms. Okay, tell you what if I did this? What if I got a job at the supermarket and I went into the cereal aisle at the night shift, right? And then I opened all the Lucky Charms boxes and ate all the marshmallows and then resealed them. What would be the appropriate prison sentence for that? It would have to be like 10 years, right? At least, maybe life. Anyway, I like Lucky Charms. I love the marshmallows, but because it's not all marshmallows, they're gonna have to be in pretty good. Anyway, but we are pretty much done here. This is my cereal list. Gotta love Captain Crunch. Gotta love Cinnamon Toast Crunch.